And we're live! Welcome to the Startup TNT Summit 7 finale, coming to you live from Saskatchewan Blue Cross. I'm Jesse Weeb, your leader for Saskatchewan for Startup TNT.
And I'm Hassan, the Regina area lead for Startup TNT.
And we are also the co-leads for the Saskatchewan stream of Summit 7.
Yeah, that's right. And we're on stage tonight in Saskatoon. We're going to be seeing 5 amazing Saskatoon area companies pitch tonight for investors from Startup TNT. But not only that, we've got also finales running across Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg tonight.
Absolutely. We have also our friends down in Regina are watching us live at Fireside Bistro. So we're so happy. And if you're wherever you are, welcome to the Summit 7 finale for Saskatchewan. We got 20 amazing companies also pitching, 15 more in across Alberta and Manitoba. And we're going to be investing in at least 4 amazing startups tonight, but I'm guaranteeing it's going to be a lot more than that.
That's right, Jesse, it is. And we also want to point out tonight we're in this beautiful space, Sask Blue Cross building. This is amazing. We were here last time at the top 20 pitch night. And to talk about that, we got Jamel Kobasin, CTO of Blue Cross, to come up here and talk about it.
Yeah, welcome to the stage.
Thanks.
How you feeling today? You got a chance to check everything out. How does it feel to have all this cool innovation happening here at Saskatchewan Blue Cross today?
Yeah, it's super exciting. So I'll go ahead and I got a prepared little thing here because I'm not really great at these types.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. What would Saskatchewan Blue Cross like to say to everybody to welcome here to the venue?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to say welcome everyone to Saskatchewan Blue Cross. My name's Jamal Kobasin. I'm the Chief Technology Officer here. So, with that, I look after the technology team, cybersecurity, but one of the things I don't do very often anyway is get up on stage and do things like this. So I'm so honored, but also extremely terrified to be up here and to be kicking off this event. So. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it. Cheers.
We're a very friendly community here at TNT.
Yeah, awesome. Well, in all seriousness, though, we are a local company that cares deeply about this province, its people, and our communities, actually. So we're so pleased to be able to be able to support this event and this community, and so super excited about that. I'd like to thank all of you. You're the innovators that are going to shape our future, and tonight is about you. Really looking forward to meeting with you all, and let's have some fun. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, we're so happy to be here at Saskatchewan Blue Cross, but it's also important to remember that we are gathered here today on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional lands of the Cree, Dene, Nakota, Saulteaux, and Métis peoples. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together in this space, and we honor the deep and enduring connection that Indigenous people have to these lands and waters.
As we reconvene for the Startup TNT Summit 7 finale, we reflect on the journey of the past 6 weeks and the importance of reconciliation in the world of entrepreneurship. We recognize the ongoing struggles faced by Indigenous communities stemming from the history of colonization, oppression, and systemic barriers.
And we also acknowledge and celebrate the resilience, knowledge, and cultural richness of Indigenous peoples. From time immemorial, they have been the caretakers of these lands, drawing wisdoms from the stars that guide them.
At Startup TNT, we remain committed to supporting Indigenous entrepreneurship and fostering an inclusive ecosystem that values diversity and cultural revitalization. We recognize that economic empowerment is crucial for Indigenous communities, and we strive to provide mentorship, training, and resources to Indigenous entrepreneurs.
And today, as we gather here at Saskatchewan Blue Cross, we are joined by Indigenous entrepreneurs in our Pasikotan space, and thank our friends at SIT, Sharita, and SIEDN for working with us on this project both now and well into the future.
May the summit serve as a catalyst for meaningful connections, collaboration, and innovation that honors the past, creates opportunities in the present, and paves the way for a brighter future for all.
Absolutely. And I'm just so proud to say that tonight we are joined by many other friends in the community here, as you might have checked out already or have a chance in a little bit after the pitches, that are showcasing their innovation. We have Omnee Rapid Prototyping on the third floor, and I've actually created some awards for our finalists that you'll see by the gate, thanks to a donation from Canadian Filaments, a company out of Edmonton that was in our top 20. And we also have Lexonic up on the third floor doing a VR demonstration of their product Sievert, which won last year's summit finale at this time, so exactly 1 year ago today.
That's right. And we also have Tourpath Putting, another TNT company, on the second floor, demonstrating golf aid that was recently purchased by Roy McCrory, which I understand is a good golfer.
Yeah, you can clearly tell Hassan knows a good company to invest in, but doesn't know golf.
I don't know golf, but I know a good company.
We also heard that Adam Hadwin was playing with it live at the U.S. Open on TV this afternoon, so that was pretty cool. And who could forget, we got Supercut, a company out of Swift Current that's doing a lemon and lime slicer extraordinaire, and it's taking the U.S. market by storm, and just announced today that they're going to be in Scotiabank Arena in Toronto.
Yeah, let's give it up for that.
Give it up for all those companies. And of course, let's give it a round of applause as well to the Indigenous entrepreneurs in our Persequogen space. We got Deadly Dan and Juicy Clothing. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Give a round of applause for them as well. So, what is the plan for tonight?
Well, Jesse, we got this amazing agenda. It's going to be epic. Obviously, we're doing intros and welcomes right now. We're going to hit this pitches in a few minutes.
Yep.
Then
we're gonna things to get through,
and we got 5 of those to get through. Then there's going to be like a super quick investor deliberation. It's going to take like what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. When you see the quality of these companies, I think we might take a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. But after we're done the deliberation, we're going to obviously do the winners announcement, check ceremony, a special announcement coming in after that.
Yes.
And then we hit the after party.
Yes, absolutely. After party, we're going to be heading over to Earl's. Enjoy the rest of the night. And also during the deliberation, don't forget all that innovation showcase I mentioned. You can check that out.
And I also want to mention to our folks down in Regina, after party right after the watch party in Fireside Bistro.
Yeah. Feel free to stick around. And of course, we could not do it without the generous support of all of our friends. We sometimes call them sponsors, but really they're our friends. And who are they, Hassan?
Oh, Jesse, we got so many amazing friends on the board. Like, we got Best Friends Forever, API, Applied Pharmaceutical Innovation out in Alberta. We've got CBRE, he's going to be on stage here tonight. We got RBCX, MMP, BDC's in the house. They're going to be on stage. Chess Club.
Awesome video from the start. Yeah, who doesn't love that? We're going to see that again in a bit.
Crowd favorites. Infinity Shred.
Get that money with Infinity Shred. Make sure you get that money back from the federal government.
Can't do anything without McKercher. I mean, that's like the startup law firm to go to.
And of course, we got our friends at SK Startup Institute and Sharita doing amazing work here in the province.
And they're going to be on the stage as well.
Yeah, and we got to thank our community supporters. Obviously, Saskatchewan Blue Cross here today. Big shout out to Collabs and Cultivator. For those that don't know, all 5 of tonight's finalists have participated in one or both of those programs. That's a big, big achievement. We've also got a special announcement coming up in a bit from the Chamber. And then, of course, like saving the best for last, we got our core funding partners. Prairie Scan, huge shout out. Thank you so much for all that support. And in Innovation Saskatchewan, we are joined today by the CEO of Innovation Saskatchewan, Carrie Harvey. How you doing tonight? How you feeling about all this? Seeing all this innovation, all this amazing community that is building right here in Saskatchewan.
I am so excited, and I have to say I'm personally really excited to be finally back at one of your events. I haven't been able to make it for a while, and so it just reminds me of all the energy and the creativity and all the fantastic things that are happening here in our province and across the prairies.
Yeah, it's so great to have you. You've been a little busy. Innovation Saskatchewan's been going through some changes. There's lots going on. I'm sure everybody in the room really knows mostly about Innovation Saskatchewan, but for the audience at home, why don't you just give a quick rundown of what you are doing over there?
Sure, sounds good. So Innovation Saskatchewan is essentially the province's central agency of government who essentially aims to foster economic innovation in the province, and we do that through supporting research and also the commercialization of technology in the province. And we do that through a whole number of different programs. And I'm not going to list them all here tonight, but it's everything from grant programs to investments into venture capital funds and other incentives. And we also do this supporting our entrepreneurs through the power of place. And what I mean by that is we provide, through our research parks in Regina and Saskatoon, we provide community, we provide programming, we provide flexible space arrangements, specialized infrastructure, and just as importantly, a sense of community in both of those, on campus at both of those research parks.
Yeah, and so thanks very much for all that. And with all that contribution coming to the province, let's see the impact that that has
Also,
on...
don't forget tax credit, right?
Oh, yes.
Very important.
I hope everybody already knows about the Saskatchewan Technology Startup Incentive, or 45%.
You'd hope so, yeah.
You know,
We really
tax.
like it.
Yes,
We really like
I
it.
know, I know.
Can't say enough about it.
Yeah, but because of all this, as Asad said, we've gotten some amazing impact.
There we go. Okay, and this is the impact that the contribution that Innovation Sask has had through TNT. So can you maybe give us a bit of why these numbers and metrics are important to Innovation Sask?
Well, first of all, I mean, look at these metrics, right? Like, let's give Startup TNT a hand on this, please. I mean, the metrics speak for themselves, and it's amazing to see, like, in 2 years, we've had 21 companies come through the programming here, have raised $2.2 million both within and outside of Saskatchewan, which is totally amazing, and I think also shows that connectivity again, right, between our prairie provinces. And so, you know, it's, you know, obviously one of the priorities for us as an agency is to ensure that our growing companies, our scaling companies, have access to that early stage funding. And through our tax credit and through the work that you're doing here, it's really all about the companies, right? And it's setting them up for success and making sure they have what they need to be here in Saskatchewan and to grow their companies.
Absolutely, and we thank you so much for that. And yeah, because of you, we've been able to even add some new things like the Uniting the Prairie Syndicate that just happened a few weeks ago. One of our finalists won that. And yeah, we've activated all kinds of new investors. It's been great, and so we thank you so much for that support. And you've got an announcement tonight to talk more about our continued partnership. So why don't you let everybody know what you got going on?
All right, yes. Yes, we do, Jesse. We have a bit of an announcement here. So I'm really excited and pleased to announce that that Innovation Saskatchewan will be doubling our contribution to Startup TNT in this year. So we're going from 50 to 100,000, and you know, our hope is that helps you to do more of these events, to make them bigger and better. And again, really, it's all about our companies and helping them to access that funding that they need.
Give it up for that. 100K. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much to Carrie Harvey and the whole team at Innovation Saskatchewan for all your hard work. Let's give it up one more time for Innovation Saskatchewan. All right. What else has been the impact? If we think about the wider impact of TNT, what has happened over the last 3.5 years?
Yeah, this is the additional effect that TNT has had over the prairie provinces. I mean, look at the stats here, everyone. 74 companies funded, 312 angel investors involved in that, over 10 million capital raised, over 4 million raised by female founders, and almost 2 million for BIPOC founders. I mean, that's just amazing stats.
Yeah,
just give it up for that.
We love that. Just give it up across the prairies, stepping up. What it really means here too, and what I love so much looking at this logo wall, is it's all about the stories. This is week 102 here at Startup TNT, just another Thursday night.
And it's 213 for TNT overall.
Wow, yeah, over 213 weeks. We've been meeting every Thursday night, starting in Edmonton, then Calgary, now Saskatoon, Regina, and Winnipeg. And it's been so much fun. And all of these companies on this logo wall, they participate in these investment summits, but they also come out in the community. Many of them are here tonight. We thank them for joining us. And I look at this and I see stories of people asking questions, meeting potential investors at happy hours, finding solutions to problems that they're having by asking questions to their fellow founders. Right? I've seen people find jobs at the happy hours. That's what's so exciting, right? Find new partnerships, new connections. One of our winners from the AgTech Summit, Farm Simple, is working with One Cup AI. They met during the summit, and now they're able to work together to sell the products. That's what it's all about here at Startup TNT. Our motto is have fun, make friends, build companies, and that's what we do every Thursday night.
Absolutely.
All right, so last time we were here 6 weeks ago, I stood on this stage and gave a very impassioned speech on why we should invest in startups. And instead of giving to that exact same speech to you again, I thought, why don't we hear from Hassan this time about why do you invest in startups?
Very good question, Jesse. That's a question that we as investors get quite often. I don't have the same oratory skills as Jesse does to articulate though as well as he did back in May, but I certainly share the same sentiments as him. I believe we invest in startups because it's the desire to work with amazing folks in our community to develop amazing companies that have just the most incredible ideas to become world-level, world-competing companies. If that's why we're here. If we didn't believe that, we wouldn't be doing this. And the question was why invest in startups, but that's one question. I guess any investor could go anywhere to invest in startups. We could go down south, we could go to Singapore, we could go to Europe. Why are we investing in Sask startups? Well, that's because we believe that Saskatchewan has the people that can go worldwide, that can make it just as big as people down in Silicon Valley or Austin or New York or anywhere else. So because of that belief, because we believe in the work that individuals are doing in the community, we invest here locally in SaaS startups.
If you believe in that too, clap your hands, right? Give it up for that. If you believe Saskatchewan can do it, yeah. All right, so that's why we do it. How do we do it?
Yeah, sorry. So how we do it? Well, yeah, we talked about the why. The how, we've got a fairly unique investment summit process that we go through. It's not a pitch competition. We're not just looking at who can present the best. We actually go through a due diligence, a fairly rigorous due diligence process over the course of like 6 weeks. And it's real investors talking with real company founders talking about how the company will actually succeed or not. So it's actually pretty in depth. And Jesse, maybe go into the details?
Yeah, well, the most important thing to look on here is the word pre-commits, right? So 8 weeks ago, our investors cut a $5K check before they even saw what companies they were going to be looking at or investing in. And they did that because they also believe, as Hassan and I do, that there are great companies here. And if we just put the money up and we go through this process, at the end, we're going to invest in someone great, someone amazing that's going to help change the world. And even if there's more companies through the process, right, you want to invest in more, you could do that at the end. But you got to put that money up at the start. It's that pre-commitment. It's that putting that money where your mouth is. And that's what I love so much about Startup TNT, because it says so much about what this community stands for.
That's absolutely right, Jesse.
All right, so what is going on tonight? It's finale night. We've actually across 3 provinces, as I said, 5 cities happening simultaneously. There's over 90 investors. There's going to be hundreds of people gathering. 20 startups are pitching. There's going to be after parties. It's going to be an epic, epic night. We're so thankful to have you here joining us. And
just want to point out, we actually have over 700 tickets sold.
Yeah, that actually went up even more, right? Thanks for clicking on more tickets last minute here. And, sorry, there we go. And of course, we got to take a quick moment, right? We talked about why, we talked about how. Now let's talk about who is investing. These are the people who put up the 5K checks. There's even more than this, but not everybody feels like being publicly recognized. But let's give it up for all of our investors who cut those checks ahead of time. Quick rundown. Yeah. Who are these people? What do they do?
Yeah, Jesse, I mean, these are business owners, they're exited founders, they're young professionals in their communities, they're family offices. There's people who are just believers in local entrepreneurs.
There's Top Gun Maverick over here. Yeah.
Outliers like myself who just fly jets on the side.
Yeah. And who's pitching?
So this is why we're here tonight. These 5 companies. I mean, we got BetterCart. Give it up for these companies. Come on, everyone. Come on. We got BetterCart, CreditGurus, Omnee, Runnr, SolusGuard, all going to be on stage pitching one last time.
Yeah. And of course, it's important to remember quickly before we get started what's going to be happening. So 5 pitches, 4 minutes a pitch. They're going to do a 2-minute Q&A right after that. Let's get that energy going. Let's get that vibe up. It's really important also that we take a moment to think about, why are all of you here? Why do we gather and do this publicly? It's very important that we do this every time very publicly. And why do we do that?
Well, like the theme that we've mentioned so far throughout this intro, it's it takes a village to make a company. It really does. It's the support that's required from the community to make one company excel and be at the world stage. And I think Saskatoon and Saskatchewan has the ability to do that. We already have a few examples of Vendesta, Seven Shifts, Coconut, local companies that are on the path, and there's going to be other companies following in suit.
Absolutely. These are world-changing companies pitching here tonight. They need a lot more than capital to grow. They need those partnerships. They need those employees. They need those connections. So if you, throughout the night, if you hear something like, hey, I can help, I encourage you after the pitches are done, go find that founder, talk to them, explain why you might be able to help them. Let's work together to build a better Saskatchewan.
Absolutely.
And one last quick thing before we can get going. As we talked about, we are doing after parties, right? And we always have a really nice open bar tab here at Startup TNT. And how do we do that? That's crazy.
Well, we basically just hope folks will put money on the bar.
So if those that can afford it, you want to put some money in?
I will put money. I'll start it off. I'll put $100 on the bar.
I'll put $100 of my money in there as well, right? We encourage anybody here in the audience, if you are able to, if you can afford to, we like to encourage, our motto, as I said, have fun, make friends, build companies. What better way to make friends than to buy them a drink? So send a donation in to cheers@startuptnt.com, and we will do some shout-outs later on in the show.
All right, and so with that, we're done with the intros. Let's start the pitches.
I got to get this right because I work very hard on these nicknames and these intros. And to kick us off, who better than the maestro of legal scale, the McCurcher magistrate, the sharpest suited startup legal luminary this side of the Great Lakes, Joe Gill.
Give it up for Joe.
Wait. The nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
All right, Joe. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward to hearing from these awesome companies, hanging out with some great people, and trying every one of Dan's sauces and seeing if I still have any taste buds left at the end of the night.
Awesome. Yeah, I love those Dan sauces. It was funny. You asked me too, is he going to be there tonight? Because I got to make sure I buy some more sauce.
Well, yeah, if people were here at the top 20 night, I was the guy leaving with like a army ration of sauces hidden inside my suit. So it doubles for that. It's really important. You get lots of pockets all over the place. So.
Yeah, so I'm sure literally everybody in this room knows you, but there might be one or two that don't. So why don't you let them know who you are, Joe?
Absolutely. So I'm Joe Gill. I am Saskatchewan's technology lawyer and a proud partner with McCurcher, Saskatchewan's most innovative law firm. We exist to empower those who dare. And we're very fortunate that a large number of the companies that are pitching here tonight, some of the great people out in the crowd, we can count among founders that we've represented and we've been along the journey with. And I sort of go back to when I was preparing my remarks and ChatGPT gave me exactly what to say, I immediately threw those out and said, look, there's something that gets lost, I think, a lot of the times in legalese and other stuff, and we certainly know our way around contracts, but it's empathy. We're here. You see us in the community. We care deeply about the founders, whether you're somebody that's just got a haywire idea and you're at your ideation stage through to great companies like the amazing woman I'm going to introduce next up here tonight. We're here for you. We want to hear from you. We want to be there from day one, and we want to earn your trust and help you change the world.
I love that. Give it up for that. That's a great way to kick us off. So happy to have you here kicking us off. Yeah, you do represent, I think, all the companies here tonight that are pitching. And and I know you love all your children, but why don't you give the hype up for this first pitcher?
We love all our children, but this amazing woman you're going to see on stage next, Cerise Salanders, the CEO and founder of SolusGuard. The thing I see a lot of founders. The thing that I will compliment Cerise on is Cerise is decisive. When you give Cerise information, she takes in viewpoints, she listens to people, and she makes decisions. She doesn't hesitate. She thinks about the best interests of people around her and her team, and she acts with intention. And as I learned the other day, she can apparently read 1,000 words a minute. I'm going to turn it over to Cerise.
Give it up for SolusGuard.
And Q&A will be handled by Colton Wiegers.
Thank you, Joe. I like to believe I'm the favorite child, so appreciate that. Good evening, everybody. So SolusGuard is my second company, and between the two companies that I've had over the years, It's been a while. I've been here for a while, and I think a few of you know that. But over this time, I've had the privilege of being able to observe some of the greats in our community, the great companies that have gone on to do great things. And I've realized that a lot of them have some attributes and that they have a competitive differentiation or a competitive advantage. And I think that we have the same thing, and it begins with the fact that our product isn't a nice to have. What we sell and what we do is critical to making sure that people go home to their families every night. Because the reality is there's a whole world out there where workplace is a really scary place to be. And that employers are looking for ways to keep those employees safe. And for large and enterprise level organizations, just buying a product off the shelf just simply isn't going to cut it. Which is where we come in. We have a whole product shelf, a whole platform that works together, hardware, software, back-end communication systems, satellite, cellular, you name it. But what really sets us apart is the fact that we build our products from end to end as well. Now, hardware is hard, we hear that. But hardware is also a competitive advantage. So we can serve smaller organizations, so far up to $700,000 organizations. And it matters to these companies. It matters that we're able to deliver the products and services that they need to keep their people safe. Now, the other thing about us is that we're not just in any one place, any one vertical. There are 54 million people around the world that work alone. That's over a $9.5 billion market. This is huge. We're a horizontal enterprise company. And we don't just say sell to property management or parole officers. We've got the ability to protect millions and millions of people, hundreds of millions of people worldwide. And we have been. We've been offering these services and selling to many companies, very large companies across North America. What does this look like? $1.23 million in annual recurring revenue from 96 different companies. Over 2.5 million in qualified leads, although I think that's pretty light right now. And a pretty sticky product. So we're quite confident. We're going to 2x our growth year over year. We believe this. We think this is absolutely achievable because we've figured out. We've got our sales figured out. We've got our marketing figured out. But we've also got something else that's a competitive differentiator. And that is a couple of strategic partners we've just signed, CDWG and Grainger. This is something no one else in our space has. And what is the last? Well, I think it's our team. I think our team is really incredible because, well, yeah, we've been around for a while, but we've already been there and done that. But we're still scrappy. We've raised about $1 million so far year to date, but we've brought in over $3 million in non-dilutive revenue commits to date as well. So we're scrappy. This is unheard of in the industry. And I think that what you'll see is that we're raising money because we're putting fuel on the fire. We're scaling. We're going to be that company that Hassan talked about. We're going to make it. There's not just going to be a Vendasta in Saskatchewan. There's going to be a SolusGuard as well. Thank you.
Cerise, awesome work. I actually knew about Cerise and her company back when it first started. It's a company of passion. I know that you did it out of needs that you saw for your family and the community and things like that. My question for you, and I know more about this, but the audience does not. The arrangement you got, the partnership with CDWG and Grainger right now, can you explain why that's important, why that's a competitive advantage, and what doors it's going to open for you going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the enterprise B2B space, it's really tough. The sales cycle is really long. So if we want to sell to a large organization, it can take upwards of a year. Really difficult. They always go to RFP, which means you're competing with everybody. It's very challenging. Well, so Corrections Canada is one of our customers. And we're going out to the United States, talking to the different states. And one of the DOC states, I can't mention them here, but one of them said, hey, we love what it is that you have, but we don't want to go to RFP. Like, this is too difficult. Could we just, buy this through one of these companies? And they mentioned CDWG and they mentioned Grainger, of which both companies reached out to us. What that means is we can sell to all government agencies, not just in Canada, or in the United States and Canada and many other countries, without going to RFP. They also have thousands of people who are selling on our behalf. We are the only company in our space that CDWG and Grainger has. This is a big fucking deal.
Hell yeah, it is. And since we have 40 seconds left, I had a call with someone who's a high up at BlackBerry, and he touted how important this was. When BlackBerry was in their heyday, they had to get these deals, and these partners essentially sold their product for them because the government agencies, they wanted it that bad, right? So assuming the traction continues, these companies will be working for you. These partners will be working for you to get you out to new markets. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And government contracts, that's where the money is, everybody. So a great first big clients to get on board. Thanks, Cerise.
Thank you.
All right, don't go anywhere, Cerise. You're going to have to grab one of these. Because I got to come on stage because Colton, as I mentioned earlier, is not only a TNT investor and a awesome member of the community, helping run his family's company, but he's also part of the board of the Saskatoon Chamber, and they have a special gift for all of our finalists tonight, don't they?
Yeah, and I can't take that out of your hand because I'm holding my drink with my courtesy sliced lime from Supercut. It's in the back if anyone needs for your drinks. You can get a cup from the bartenders. Yeah. But the Biz Boost battery, so the Saskatoon Chamber, I'm a big advocate of this. I'm the past chair of the board there right now. I've been involved with the board for about 7 years now. If you are a business in Saskatoon, you need to get involved with the Chamber. That's where you're going to make connections to sell your product, to hire your next employee, to find your next strategic partner. And what the Chamber has done today in supporting businesses like Cerise's and the rest you're going to see is giving each of the finalists a Biz Boost package, which is included in there a 1-year membership for the Chamber, a feature article in the business magazine, and a couple other shout outs and placements to get your company exposed and out there and shown in the community, hopefully to find that next customer, employee, partner, whatever it might be. So a big thank you to the Chamber for donating this to all our finalists tonight.
Yeah.
So it's mine.
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah. You actually take the battery.
Finalists, please grab your Biz Boost.
Grab your giant battery.
Wow, what a way to start the show, Hassan.
That was amazing. Give it up one more time.
Yeah, what a great start to the show. Already a tough decision. If that's number one, I can't imagine what we're going to see for number one.
Deliberation might now take 6 minutes.
Yeah. So what's coming up next?
So up next, okay, I'm going to have to read this because Jesse wrote it. Okay, our next co-host, a representative of the Regional Renaissance Ringleaders, an opportunity orchestrator in his own right, and a truly dynamic director of investment and business attraction for Shrita. Please welcome to the TNT stage, Brad Bly.
Woo! Give it up for Brad. Welcome.
Thanks,
welcome,
Hassan.
Brad.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, you got the questions.
Yeah, so so Brad, tell us a little bit about Shrita.
So just as the name implies, Shrita stands for Saskatoon Regional Economic Development Authority. As you mentioned, I'm the Director of Investment and Business Attraction. So big part of what we do is trying to attract innovative, new, exciting companies to Saskatoon and Saskatoon region. So if there's a company that you all know of that you think ought to be in Saskatoon because they would complement all the amazing things we have going on in Saskatoon region, I want to know about it. Shrita wants to know about it. You're all bright. Everybody here knows what kind of companies that should be here. So let us know. That's a big part of what we do, business attraction.
That's right, and all 5 companies from tonight's summit are from Saskatoon.
Yeah, very exciting. And you also have a other institute. You have the SK Startup Institute that does some amazing work with really early stage entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah, as it was up here, we're very happy to be, special friends to Sask?
Best friends.
Best friends. Our best friends. That's nice. We'll give you a hug. Sask Startup Institute, the role of that's an enterprise within Shrita that provides guidance, early stage guidance, and pathfinding and critical information to early stage companies or aspiring entrepreneurs, companies that are not yet companies. They're entrepreneurs that are thinking about starting a company.
Amazing work there. I want to give it up.
Yeah. Thank you, Shrita, for all the hard work. Goes to show with our finalists tonight. It's amazing.
Hey, Brad, and what can you tell us about the company that's coming up next?
Runnr and Louis Cola. So, I mean, SaaS Startup Institute, something that we're always trying to strive towards when we're providing our guidance and our service, is to provide that guidance and service at the speed of small business, because we know how important that is, because the clock is ticking, the budget is ticking, money's tight, it's very important to entrepreneurs. So how relevant that you asked me to introduce Runnr, because Louis Cola and Runnr is all about speed and providing service at the speed of small business, providing service to small business, but to industrial business at the critical speed that they need. And so they're all about this, they're all about speed, they're all about hotshot speed. So very pleased to be introducing this company.
All right, well, let's get on with that.
Yeah, let's give it up.
Give it up for Runnr.
Runnr and Louis Cola.
Thank you for that. Hello, my name is Louis Cola. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Runnr. I'd like to start today by telling you a little story about Runnr. We launched in March of 2020 with the ambition to be the next Skip the Dishes, but for our niche in on-demand industrial parts and supply deliveries. We knew that there was need for change in this space, and that is exactly what we did. Over the next 3.5 years, we operated as a tech-enabled courier company, scaling operations between 2 different cities, completing over 50,000 deliveries, and managing over 20 drivers on our platform. However, we knew that it wasn't going to be deliveries that would scale us to become the next unicorn. This is because delivery companies are operationally complex, they are low-margin businesses, and you essentially have to run 2 companies in one, a delivery company and a technology company. It wasn't until earlier in 2023 when, after we expanded our delivery operations into Regina, that we started to have larger conversations with some of our enterprise companies. And in these conversations, they told us that they really loved our deliveries, but it's essentially our technology that is really adding value to them. And this is because at the branch level, enterprise companies like Herc and Brandt rely on anywhere from 3 to 10 local and regional delivery vendors to meet their needs. And because Runnr was just one of the many vendors used at the branch level to meet their needs that actually had technology, our customers ultimately came up to us and said, we loved Runnr's platform, but if we could have all of our other delivery vendors on this platform, that would be the real value. And this is because this would allow them to digitize their complete delivery workflows, allowing them to have online scheduling, upfront pricing, and instant proof of delivery, which would allow them to have it not just for one vendor, but for now all of those vendors. And this is the inflection point at Runnr. This is what would take us from being a delivery company to now being a software company. And what this looks like and what this means for us is we essentially leave the deliveries to the existing delivery companies already servicing these branches. And what we do instead is now sell the software to the enterprises, allowing them to work with these local vendors, and we digitize that entire process through our platform. The market opportunity for Runnr as a software company is over $8.5 billion a year. In this next year, our sales pipeline is over $715,000 in ARR alone. And this is through the launch of this is the launch of multiple different pilots within the next 2 to 6 months, and through the continued expansion with our existing customers. And if we were to continue to expand our software with just 3 of our enterprise customers, this would equate to more than $8 million in ARR. Looking at the competition, Runnr is the only company that is working on building a local logistics platform specifically. And we are backed by some of the world's best accelerator programs. And it is through these programs that has helped us navigate the pivot that taken us from being a delivery company to now being a software company. The reason why I'm standing in front of you here today is we're looking to raise our pre-seed round of funding, allowing us to hire the key candidates that we need to execute on this $700,000 pipeline in the next year. Now, we are gearing up to solve this multi-billion-dollar problem that enterprise companies have with their local logistics. Are you ready to join the ride? Thank you.
Hey, great job, Lewis. So, is there a bigger vision for Runnr's software outside of its initial target market of industrial and agricultural logistics?
Yeah, so the exciting thing about what we're building, and as we transition into the software focus, we realize that the workflows and the technology that we're building is industry agnostic. These same problems apply to many other industries outside of just fertilizer, agriculture, and industrial. So it's a much larger problem that we're solving.
So what's the end game for Runnr?
So the ultimate goal for Runnr is we're building essentially the Shopify platform for local logistics. And what that means is we're building it in such a way that it's modular, allowing companies and different industries to use the software and be able to customize it for their needs with their specific applications.
So lastly, how does Runnr transition from a delivery service to a SaaS platform?
Yeah, so great question. So we are already in that transition, and what we've done for our initial pilot, the main one being Aberhart in the next couple months, is we've actually white labeled our software and built a sandbox environment for them to use and test. So that's already ready to go and getting ready to ship out the door. But then the next step is we are actively working with our main companies like Herc and Brandt, and we're helping right now facilitate that relationship with existing vendors, but we are building those pieces so that they can manage that relationship themselves on the front end. So it's just some modifications that we're needing to enable that relationship to be smoother up front. So
Great job. Get up for Runnr.
thank you.
All right, let's hear for Runnr and for Chris Nicolotion for doing the Q&A.
Yeah, wow. 2 pitches down. Another one. Right? We got 3 more to go. And let's keep this show rolling. Right? I actually forgot to bring mine on stage.
You can take mine, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely need. All right, yeah, here we go. We have the startup space whisperer, a man who is a tech-tailored tenant tactician, the CBRE office orchestrator, who can get exactly what you need. Welcome to the stage, Ben Kelly. Come on up. All right.
Hello.
Welcome
Coming all the way from the back of the room. How's the view from back there?
It was great.
Yeah.
Everyone did a great job. A little nervous coming up after Joe, but you know.
Hard act to follow.
It is. Yeah, absolutely, it is.
Right. So you're working with CBRE there, Ben, and you've done some amazing work with some of the biggest tech companies here in the city, helping them find space.
I have.
I think those nicknames that I just listed off really encapsulate what it is that you do. But why don't you just elaborate a little bit further for everyone here in the audience, what you do for the tech community with CBRE?
Yeah. I think more than anything, again, Joe alluded to a little bit of this earlier, but we're really here to just try to be a resource at, kind of best we can. At the end of the day, real estate is a secondary function to a business, but it is much more than that. It is your HR strategy. It is your retention strategy. It is your part of how you attract employees, good talent, etc. That's changing quite significantly right now, post-COVID. There's a lot of changes in that world. But with that, we try to provide as much guidance as we humanly can. And we're here for, a lot of these early stage startups have some support in facilities. So when they're ready to grow and expand and add more people and look at ulterior or other cities in order to attract talent, we're there to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. CBRE is one of our best friends, forever national sponsor. We're really happy to have you on board.
Yeah, great to be on stage. So who do we have coming up next?
We've got Dave at Omnee. So him and I chatted a little bit earlier, but I'm not gonna take too many words out of his mouth, and we'll introduce Dave. Come on up, bud.
Who better to introduce than real estate? All right.
And for Q&A afterwards, we'll be Mike Wolfsad.
Hello, there we go. All right. Let's make sure this is working. So Omnee is empowering the newest generation of homeowners to understand and take care of their homes. My name's Dave, the founder of Omnee. And all my life, I have had a strong desire to make a positive impact on my generation and the generations to follow. And I actually never intended to be in the construction industry. I wanted to be Bill Gates when I was a kid. But I fell into it after high school. And man, has it taught me a lot. It's taught me about working hard. It's taught me about building businesses. It's taught me about building resilience and the power of networking. But most of all, it's really taught me how to serve people. And, yeah, sorry, lost my place in my head. I felt a little emotional charge there for a second. So I developed obviously some practical skills in the early stages of my career in construction, but I've always been better at helping people with my brain and with my heart. And that's what Omnee's about. That's why Omnee exists. 20 years I've spent trying, failing, learning, and finding solutions to complex problems, and serving hundreds and hundreds of unique homeowners. And that's what's prepared me to lead Omnee's team, Omnee's incredibly talented team, to make a positive impact on our generation on a massive scale. My generation's not like the boomers and the Gen Xers before us. Man, this timer's confusing me here. We barely know anything about the largest, most important investment of our lives. We don't know who to turn to when we need help with our home. And I was telling people before this that this is probably going to happen to me because I rehearsed my pitch like 100 times today. And all right. So my generation we live very full, busy lives, surrounded by convenience and centered around our smartphones. So how are we going to help this group of people? Introducing the Omnee Home, an immersive 3D digital twin of your home that teaches you what everything is, what it's for, how it works, and how to take care of it. Sorry. My mind is going blank. So we track and we remind every homeowner on how to properly maintain their home throughout the year. And we surround them with every resource they possibly need to ensure that their largest, most valuable asset of their lives is well taken care of. At the push of a button, every single one of our customers has on-demand access to a one-of-a-kind home service experience. Omnee is currently operating as a virtual general contractor of home services. Just got to keep it going. Just got to keep it going. Or a virtual general contractor of home services. So, powered by AI, we offer a suite of features through our mobile app that addresses every single concern and breakdown that happens typically during the service process. And in exchange, we make a 35% gross margin, and we see a 300% return on our cost of user acquisition on the first job. And that balloons to over 1,700% every year from repeat customers. We are super excited and proud of 8 months in a row of 20% month-over-month growth. We're tracking towards 1.3 million in annual revenue this year and over 5 next year. We're in 3 cities, Saskatoon, Calgary, and Edmonton, and we'll be launching Toronto by September. We just met with our very first home builder, and as is our style, we went big. Super excited to announce that we've landed a partnership with one of Canada's largest home builders, and after a successful paid pilot, we will have an opportunity to turn 3,000 new home builds every year into Omnee homes, which represents 1.5 million in annual revenue, but at a 70% gross margin. And finally, the big announcement, super excited to say that Omnee is one of 12 Canadian startups that has been accepted into the world-renowned Techstars Accelerator. What this means for us is that we're going to be put in front of Canada's top mentors who have done this all before. We're going to receive support in our fundraising efforts. And the biggest thing is it's going to open doors that we could never open for ourselves as a little old Saskatchewan startup. We are on the stage tonight because we've left our pre-seed round open to TNT investors. We're going to spend the money on continuing to grow our revenue, keep this momentum going, and round out our leadership team over the summer as we prepare for much larger things this fall following Techstars. Did I mention that you're all invited? Yeah. So we would love for you to join us on this rocket ship, but I will say this. Tonight is your last opportunity to jump on board. Who wants to change the world with us? That was the longest 4 + 2 minutes of my life.
All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
I know, right?
Great job pushing through, Dave. A great founder always pushes through. And I've known Dave for a really long time. I've been a customer of Omnee for 2 years, an investor for a year and a half. And I can say from experience and as a fellow introvert that Dave gets choked up in this pitch because he cares. And he cares a great deal about people like me who are complete dullards in terms of managing their homes. So thank you for helping renovate my bathroom, making sure my house didn't burn down because I had 100-year-old wiring in it, and fixing my sprinklers when I broke my sprinklers because I didn't turn them off before the winter, and now setting up new systems in your things so that it reminds me next year not to do that again. But what I want to know,
got you, Mike.
I've been through this journey with you for a little bit. What I want to hear about very quickly here is just what is the future vision for this company? Where can you take this in the next years to become the unicorn that I think you can be?
Well, I think if I were to summarize what the ultimate vision is we would really like to be like the Amazon for your home in a lot of ways, the future of home ownership, and pretty exciting that could be started right here in Saskatoon. For instance, so think about your home in 3D. You're able to play around with it, click on things, learn about it. But a funny story, and I think I mentioned it on my first pitch, but we've actually been hired by a millennial to change their light bulbs before. And actually more than once, but that was not Mike. He paid me to say that. One of the times they actually didn't know what a light bulb was called. They said those things in your light, we were like, bulbs? Anyway, so when that person goes into their Omnee home and clicks on their light fixture, our vision is that they'll be able to essentially order a replacement light bulb right there through Amazon, and it'll show up at their door. We have a vision for launching monthly subscription plans so that these lazy millennials like myself can essentially live in our homes like we're living in a condo. And I mean, I could go on and on, but I know that it's a matter of time, and I already used a whole bunch of it up with silence and trying to figure out where I was in my head, so.
All right, great job.
Well, let's give it up for Omnee one more time for Dave.
Right. I think that was a great reminder. It's not easy to do
isn't easy
these
being up
pitches
here.
on stage. Often founders can make it look so easy. It's painstaking. There's lots of nerves. Obviously, big feelings tonight because these companies are not just pitching here on stage for your attention and for partnerships and potential customers, but they're pitching for real investment dollars. And Dave's actually been through this a couple of times, so I can imagine he's got the emotions flowing tonight.
Yeah, that was really great to strive through, and great on Dave. And now, yeah, we're over halfway through now, Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. We're over halfway through. I wanted to do a quick check-in on the donations. Shout out to Blaine Corte and Andrew Crudell, who've donated to the tab. Give it up for them on the donations. You want to keep those donations going. We'll do an announcement later after the deliberations on that. And I think it's very fitting that going from one person who pushed through to our next presenter, and we've got our next co-host coming up here to talk about that presenter who's very much pushed through many times here at TNT.
That's right. Wait till I do the intro before you come back. So again, Jesse wrote this, so bear with me. For our fourth co-host spot, we're very pleased to be joined by a venerable loan guru, a commander of capital on a mission for his startups, the BDC mentor extraordinaire, Lawrence Zaharia.
Woo! Give it up for Lawrence. Come up on stage.
Welcome, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jesse. Thank you very much, Hassan, for having me here. Good evening, everyone. And it's a real pleasure to be back here. As mentioned, my name is Lawrence Zaharia. I'm a senior account manager with Business Development Bank of Canada, also known as BDC here in Saskatoon. At BDC, we are focused solely on Canadian entrepreneurs, small and medium-sized businesses, and we help create and develop strong Canadian business through financing, advisory services, and capital. When it comes about financing and tech financing, this is one of key areas of focus, and we're helping them to grow and scale their business by providing non-dilutive growth capital and advisory services. So we come right after the product market acceptance, and when there is revenue traction, so the companies, they start actually making money, and we're supporting founders and tech companies to fuel additional growth before the next fundraising round. I'm honored, and I have the opportunity to introduce the next company on stage. But before I do that, actually, I want to take you through an exercise of imagination. Imagine a world that we have no personal credit. So how would that world look like? Month after month, we pay our bills, and we have to save the money for that car of our dreams or our needs, or the furniture for your home, or for those electronic gadgets. Obviously, I'm thinking how the world would look like for the online shopping in that case. Probably very different, yes? So obviously we are not living in this fantasy world, and yet for a large percentage of Canadians and people in North America, that access to credit is a major problem. And there is an entrepreneur in a company that seems to have a solution for this problem. Presenting next is Fred G. from CreditGurus.
Give it up.
All right, give it up for Fred.
And coming up on Q&A, we've got Aaron, one of their TNT investors.
Hello, everybody. I'm Fred, the founder of CreditGurus, Canada's first free online credit improvement service. As Lauren said, we all need credit. Imagine living without it. Surprisingly, when a lot of people apply for credit, they don't receive any offers, even at eye-watering interest rates at 30+%. Let's take a look at the automotive industry just for a moment. An industry that processes an incredible amount of applications. And to give you an idea of how many, they process upwards of 10 applications to secure 1 or 2 successful vehicle sales at a cost of $400 per application, whether that application gets approved or not. At the end of the day, they say no a lot more than they say yes. Imagine running a business where you have to deal with angry customers every day. Most of these applications at the end of the day wind up in the trash can, $400 a piece. Dealerships want to help their customers, but they lack the time, the resources, and the tools to do so. So we figured, hey, the solution is very simple. Let's help people improve their credit. But we took a deep dive into the credit improvement industry and found that it was expensive, full of bad actors, and extremely difficult for people to deal with. And these people were out of money, and they're out of resources, and they're beginning an extremely stressful cycle in their life. So CreditGurus is that credit improvement company that wants to change things. We want things to be free. Oh, we all don't like that word, but we want it to be free because we want to end that cycle of stress and debt. How do we do it? We use technology efficiencies like our screen algorithm that analyzes the customer's situation and determines their best path forward. The results delivered by our video-powered app called Simplicity that makes the hard stuff easy to understand and engage with. Combined together, we have a powerful fintech platform. R&D started for CreditGurus back in 2021. As a former finance manager, I saw its change in the consumer credit cycle coming. Fast forward to today, consumer insolvency is up 23%. And the IMF last week posted some serious concerns about Canada's mortgage market. So what did we do? We decided to bring our MVP to market 7 months early with the help of National Research Council and SAS Polytech. We're in 8 dealerships helping customers, and we were in discussions with a dealership group that had over 30 stores. However, I'm proud to say that our salesperson today secured a pilot for one of their 30 stores, and we're going to be beginning that over the next few days. We also received an LOI from, CreditGurus is very versatile and it plugs in wherever credit is offered. So we talked to other people outside of the automotive industry. And we recently, 2 days ago, we received an LOI from a large lead generation company that has over 100,000 customer files with distressed credit. Perfect customers for CreditGurus. So how do we make money? Remember that free word that was going around? So how do we make money? Well, we looked at CreditGurus and we created a free model because we looked at it and we said, who benefits the most? When the customer improves their credit, of course the customer benefits, but who really benefits? Well, how about the retailer that sends us the application? Because now they have a customer that they can sell more to. So we have a subscription model for them ranging from $6.99 to $16.99. And on the other side of the applicant is the products, services, and experts that they need to move forward. And from there, we monetize based on pay per lead and per conversion basis. Our revenue projections are based upon securing 100 dealerships, 300 dealerships, and 500 dealerships. One thing I'm particularly proud of with CreditGurus is our customer lifetime value that increases over time. As we get more subscribers and more applications, the more efficient and more profitable our model is. We're raising $300,000 in a sprint to profitability. The investment will fuel the sales team to get 100 dealership subscribers, which will generate over $100,000 a month in monthly reoccurring revenue. Additional funds will be used for IP protection with the help of NRC, and also an additional grant to add AI to our decisioning algorithm. Our team is a diverse group of industry expertise and problem-solving skills. Myself, former automotive expert in automotive lending, and winner of Chrysler's 2017 Award of Excellence. Tony is one of our co-founders and takes on a seat as our CGO, and he's truly a pleasure to work with every day. The team feels the differences that they're making in people's lives, and we invite people to join us on our mission to change the credit experience and lives of millions of Canadians. Thank you.
All right, well, great presentation there, Fred. Appreciate that. Just a couple of quick questions for you here, and we're kind of running out of time, so I'll kind of meld them together.
Sounds good.
So you mentioned the lead generation integration that you were talking about, and we've gotten that update previously about the bulk lead generation functionality that you've added. So can you tell us what that means to CreditGurus in terms of your revenue streams? And then secondly, can you tell us what is your competitive advantage that puts you over and above other companies in this space?
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for the question. Our new process our new functionality that we added to our technology allows us to take large data files from banks and other credit industry sources, add them into our system, and have them come into CreditGurus as a customer, as adverse for them to coming in one at a time through the website or possibly one at a time through a dealership location. All of our projections are based upon us working just with dealerships. This is a new revenue source for CreditGurus, and I believe it's going to be surpass our revenues that we're going to be generating on our subscription model. One thing that separates us from our competitors. One is we are the only people out there doing this with technology. Everybody is doing this with a call center approach, and it's extremely subjective. Could you imagine having to call and talk to somebody about how your credit is going? It's not a pleasant conversation. It should be dealt with through technology. It should be explained through technology and make it easy for people to interact with. And that's something that separates us from everybody else. And one last thing is we are the only person in this space that has a regulator-compliant platform to be able to work with people in insolvency.
One last thing I would say is I've seen Fred work through this process several times now. He works extremely hard. He's done a great job, and I think he deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, give it up for CreditGurus.
All right, yeah, that was just amazing to see. We've got 4 founders and now one more here at the end that have all really exemplified that grit and grind of pushing through. Fred, as mentioned, this is his 3rd summit. Each time he has made it a little further along, and we're so proud to see him on stage.
Yeah, I can't believe we're down to just one more.
Yeah, wow. Like, imagine if you had to decide which of these ones to pick for the winner. Like, geez, man, we're going to have a tough decision cut out for us in just a few minutes when we get to that next one. So up next, we've got to bring up our friends that helped us put together that awesome hype video at the start. Who better to join us here on stage than the queen of marketing moves, a branding grandmaster, joined by a visionary who sees the whole chessboard, our friends from Chess Club, Larry Anderson and Carl. Sorry, I forget your last name. Come on up. In honor tonight, too, I made a point of putting on my chess locks.
Very nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, I was a last minute addition, so he didn't have like a rhyme thing for me. But
I like that. I'm the queen. Remember
you are.
that?
That's fine. I'm good with that, actually. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Does that make you the bishop or
I'll be
rook?
Actually, yeah, bishop is good. I like that. That's
diagonal,
good.
moving around.
Actually, that's good.
Right, so Chess Club Agency, I mean, obviously we're making all these fun chess puns up here, but you're not just hanging out on 20th Street playing chess all day. What are you doing over there at Chess Club HQ?
Well, in fact, there's nothing about us, about chess. Chess has nothing, I don't even know how to play chess. But that is the name of our creative agency. We are a full service creative agency, which means we do a lot of different things like branding, websites, social media, video, a bunch of stuff. We do all that kind of stuff. But you know what? The biggest thing that gets us here and showing up is that we're not a big fan of convention. We're not a big fan of rules. Well, some rules are good, but we don't like rules in general. But we think that, again, we love big ideas. We love that stuff is changing and happening and moving. And we kind of want to be a part of that.
Yeah, we're so proud to have Chess Club as a part of it. Not only do the two of you do some awesome work with the startups, but your co-owner of Chess Club is an investor with us.
Stand up, Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry. Give it up.
Sherry.
She eats the attention. Another introvert. We're sticking on stage.
Yeah.
So without further ado, why don't you tell us about our next founder?
I am very excited to introduce our next founder. Now, when I talk about a woman, she is more than a woman. Think of the Bee Gees song, okay? More than a woman.
That was really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karaoke lady?
See, I am good at singing. She is an intellectual, and she leads her company with strength and compassion. And she is someone who I truly and personally admire. So I won't get into what her business is because she's going to tell you all about it. But I want to hear some loud ass cheering for Melanie from BetterCart.
All right.
Take this one.
The leader hop to the Q&A.
I think. Shake it up. All right. Or dance to the Bee Gees, whichever comes first. I'm not sure tonight. But okay, well, hello everyone. It's so awesome to be on the stage tonight. I'm so excited. And my name is Melanie Morrison, and I'm the CEO and founder of BetterCart Analytics. Without pricing intelligence, retailers and manufacturers misprice products and lose customers' revenue. Now, you might think that retailers and CPGs have clear-cut, fabulous cutting-edge analytics in place to guide their pricing strategies, but this isn't the case. They search for products online, they take screenshots of products, and then they also shop at competitors' stores for their pricing insights. Without a digitized automated solution, there's massive gaps in their data sources. So what this means is they don't have real-time pricing, they don't have historical records, they don't have trade spend management insights or compliance check ability. So this is a massive problem for them. And what's at stake ultimately if a company doesn't have price analytics in hand? Well, there's operational efficiencies. There are margin points. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars per store and millions in revenue per year. So our solution is BetterCart Analytics, an AI-driven price analytics platform that curates billions of product records all the time, actually. And what we do is we leverage natural language processing and image recognition, and we build our AI ML models around that for pricing intelligence. And then we produce advanced price analytics on a customizable dashboard that produces real-time insights that are error-free and not reliant on physical data capture. So we have pan-Canadian coverage. We have 5 live business use cases. We have over 5 billion products in our product record. And then we also import 38 million new pricing records weekly. It's going to 40 million very soon. Our use case number 1 is on fire. We have single product lookups, and this can help, say for instance here, a CPG, the owner of Cheerios, General Mills. Look at their pricing for retailers in any city across the country at a deaggregated level in real time. Our use case number 2 provides insights when they drill into this historical record. And what it allows them to do, CPG here, General Mills once again, it lets them see if retailers are actually complying with the pricing agreements that they've brokered with the retailers they're selling into. Our third use case is price maps for competitor data. And here you've got Activia yogurt on the screen here, owned by Dannon, and this allows General Mills, who sells Yoplait yogurt, to check out their pricing strategy in real time across the country. This is a win situation. Finally, the similar product matching. A CPG like Melita here can check out all of their rivals' products and pricing in a single screen and get those insights and drive their pricing strategy and make changes to it if they need to in weeks rather than months with this powerful data set. So the ROI, with a single product adjustment of just 50 cents a product, we're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars that can be earned by retailers and CPGs. Imagine then the ROI with multiple products in multiple stores. So why now? Well, grocery is the largest non-digitized retail segment on the planet. And that price analytics or pricing is the #1 driver of consumer purchasing behavior. And 70% of CPGs operate without any price analytics at this time. So the market opportunity is large. In Canada and the United States alone, there's over 61,000 independent grocers, and this represents the fastest growing market segment in the grocery sector in both countries. But there's also over 31,000 CPGs, and so we're certainly looking at those as well. With our competitive advantage, there are competitors certainly, but we're going after an entirely unique customer segment, and our platform is also affordable. It is straightforward, it's configurable and shareable, and we also provide that real-time hyperlocal AI. In terms of our B2B go-to-market strategy, what we have is a feature suite that will be developed out in a planned phase of R&D from 2023 right now to 2025. And then our pricing model will increase in scope, but certainly with the inflation and the added benefits there. We'll also be into some different industries and verticals. Traction, we have 7 paying customers, over close to 100,000 in our ARR. We have a pipeline close to 300,000 in potential revenue. We have strategic partners built, and we have a beautiful, powerful team, many have heard tonight, of team members, 4 advisors, and we've cracked a lot of non-dilutive funding, and that's only going to rise. So our customer validation, we've got some beauties here on the screen, and I won't go into them, but with too much detail, I'm happy to converse about them. Our revenue, we've got a clear path to get up and over 1.2 million by the end of 2024 and raise our Series A in 2025. We have a great leadership team here. We're flanked by fantastic advisors as well with expertise in grocery, finance, retail CPG, and business development. Finally, we're raising a round of $550,000 pre-seed for 18 months of runway. And we'll use this predominantly to build our sales force, to engage in customer management and customer success. Thank you so much. We are BetterCart Analytics.
Hi. Great job making pricing analytics cool, I guess, first off. I know we're out of time. I can't see a clock anywhere, so we're just going to jump right in. Okay. Can you talk about strategic partnerships for us?
Sure. So I mentioned that we have 2 strategic partnerships. We can update that a little bit as well, but we've built a strategic partnership with Food, Health and Consumer Products Canada, and they are the leading trade organization for manufacturers in the country here. There's over 127 of the leading CPGs in the world. So we're able to access those companies to build our ARR there and our revenue growth. We also have Distribution Canada, which is a leading industry association for independent grocers, wholesalers and distributors. And then we have Canadian Food Innovation Network, and that's a growing network of everybody in the food sector. And we were just delighted with an outcome not so long ago where we won $152,000 in non-dilutive by winning the Food Tech Next program in the country. So woo! Yeah, so that was a great moment. Thanks, Mike.
Good. Just one more quick one. Can you talk about other verticals in your product roadmap outside of traditional grocery and Canada?
Sure. So we're looking at building our traditional, out in terms of we're going to expand to discount. So things like Giant Tiger, Dollarama, Dollar Tree, and then as well as bulk. So Costco, Wholesale Club, we're in there a little bit already. And then we plan to move into different verticals. So convenience stores, restaurant supply chain, and then other industries that we're building capabilities in, such as telecommunications.
Awesome. Thank you.
Wow, what a show. Give it up one more time for BetterCart and Melanie.
Thank you.
Bringing us home. Right. I also have to quickly say too, what I'm so impressed by is the spirit of this audience, how understanding you've been all night long, how patient you've been for these founders. You're really showing them the respect that they deserve for all that painstaking effort, the literal blood, sweat, and tears that they put into their companies. So let's give it up for an amazing night. Let's give it up for all 5 finalists tonight. putting in that painstaking effort.
Well, that's it, Jesse. We've done 5 pitches. I can't believe we're through them all.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. People ask what we're trying to accomplish here at Startup TNT. Well, you've just experienced it. We're building community. We're having fun. We're making friends. We're building companies. And it's a great community to be here. And we're so awesome to be able to work together to build these awesome startups that want to transform our economy and change the world. And we're going to invest in at least one of these companies here tonight. I all but guarantee. I think that we're going to be investing in more than one tonight.
It's going to be at
so
least
stay tuned
one.
for that. And we'd love for more people that have the means to join us in investing in startups, but also investing in an entire community. And I just want to take a quick moment here before we head into deliberations to recognize someone who's done a lot of work to invest in our community. We throw up logos on the wall, and we recognize certain groups and partners, and we throw the name of the whole organization out. But sometimes it's important to take a moment to recognize an individual within those organizations that puts in a lot of work, that works behind the scenes, working through bureaucracies, pushing for things for this province, literally taking money from other provinces' budgets and moving it here to the Saskatchewan budget. I've heard many stories of that. And I want to bring someone to the stage and take a moment to recognize him, because there's so many of these startups. In fact, I could say all 5 startups would not be here on this stage if it wasn't for this person, because they have worked to get collabs off the ground and keep it running, and many other great initiatives in the community like Uniting the Prairies, and then here with us at Startup TNT. So I'd like to welcome Doug Zolinsky to the stage, for special recognition. Let's give it up for Doug Zolinsky. All right, come on stage here and be recognized, Doug.
Welcome, Doug.
Yeah. You want to say a few things? You have a moment? Here, take that. Yeah. You don't need that. Speech.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be on stage tonight, folks. I'm shocked and surprised and pleased and honored and privileged to be standing here in front of you. But if you don't mind, can I have 30?
Right ahead. Yeah.
Well,
pitches are done.
Just before I came tonight, I was at delivering some remarks in front of a group of entrepreneurs, and I'm looking around the audience and I recognize a lot of familiar faces, and I'd like to improvise from the remarks I said earlier today, because I think they're appropriate. Don't mind the scribbles. So, I'm with Prairie's Economic Development Canada, and of course, we do believe in prairie entrepreneurs, right? We know there's tremendous potential in the tech sector. So I just want to give you an example of Prairie's Economic Development's investments. We manage almost $500 million right now that has been invested in Saskatchewan directly into businesses and organizations that support businesses. Of that, about half of that is in what I call the innovation ecosystem. Within the innovation ecosystem, another half of that is invested in tech companies like the ones we see here tonight. So that has created about $450 million in revenue, almost 2,000 jobs, and we're pretty proud of that. And of course, Jesse mentioned earlier about some of the successes, of course, Dundas, the 7 Shifts Coconut Calendar. I'll also mention Bike Tricks, of course, SolusGuard, Omnee, all companies that we have had the privilege of partnering with. I do want to mention that, I said this earlier today, that I am in awe of the vision, passion, and sheer grit of entrepreneurs. It's, I know it takes tremendous courage to take a product all the way from concept to market. And I'm sure that every successful entrepreneur would agree that's also an incredible support system. The support system, of course, includes our tremendous best friends, Startup TNT.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we are best friends.
Our friends too. Best friends.
Yeah. We are very fortunate in Saskatchewan. We are a tight-knit community. We pull together, we support each other, and we lean on each other, and we learn from one another. It's and we are, we're proud to be a part of this action, and we're also proud to be supporters of Startup TNT. This is a tremendous organization delivering tremendous results, as you saw earlier by your spectacular graphic, which is amazing.
We'll get you a copy. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I think I've seen it twice or maybe 3 times. Thanks. Anyway, thanks for giving me the surprise opportunity of joining you here on stage tonight. I very much appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing who the winner is. And congratulations to all 5 companies that have been up here tonight. It's a tremendous honor for you guys to be up on stage. You should be very proud. And good luck.
Awesome. Thank you, Doug. Give it up one more time for Doug Zolinsky, doing amazing work for this province, driving money our way, building the economy. All right, now it's time, right?
Well, Jesse, it's now that's time. It's for the investors to go deliberate.
Yeah, really tough decision. So investors, head upstairs. It is going to take a while, and so we've got lots of things for you to do. So there's some food at the back. We got pizza here already. As mentioned, we have the Pasico 10 space here. 2 amazing Indigenous entrepreneurs. Check out their businesses. Buy some hot sauce. Buy some clothing. Check out Supercut over by the bar. Get some lemons and limes sliced up. Upstairs, Tour Path Putting on the 2nd floor. And on the 3rd floor, we got Luxonic and Omnee Rapid Prototyping. Do some networking. Check out all the cool stuff. We're going to be back in a bit. And investors go straight. Investors go straight to the room. There's food in the room. Just go straight to the room. Go straight to the room. There's food and there's drink already in the room for you. Go straight there. Straight to the room. Are you ready for the winner? Who is it gonna be? And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. What a deliberation that was.
That was intense.
That was so intense, right? One of the toughest deliberation rooms we've ever been in. These companies did not make it easy on us. Yeah, wow. I just realized I don't have the clicker. I think I need the clicker because we got a couple things we got to get through here real quick because I know you're all waiting for the winner announcement. So that means you're gonna pay attention as I run through the last few really important things that we got to get through. And real quick, we got to reiterate, right? We're gonna make a pretty big announcement here in just a few minutes with one of our most exciting investment summits ever, our most competitive cohort. And it really goes to show that Saskatchewan has built an incredible tech sector, thanks to some early trailblazers in this community that have proven time and time again that innovation can come from this ecosystem, right? Thanks to the hard work done by the steadfast commitment of Innovation Saskatchewan and PrairieScan and many others to fund the works of impactful programs like Collabs and Cultivator, right? They've done such incredible work in this town to make these finalists. These 5 finalists today have participated in one or both of those programs. They've taken advantage of a lot of grants and things in the community. So let's give it up one more time for this community and what it's doing to build these awesome tech startups.
And just to quickly over what we've been able to do tonight. I mean, this is finale night, and this is happening not just here, but also in Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, and obviously they're watching it down in Regina as well. 3 provinces, 5 cities, 90+ investors involved. We have 20 startups that were involved.
Yeah.
Over 700 tickets sold.
And we're going to have a party all night long, so don't forget that. We're going to go party over at Earl's after this.
It'll be one epic night.
Yeah, absolutely. Something important to know as well, if we didn't mention at the hop, TNT has a new VC fund. It is investing $50K into the winner on top of the capital from our Invoco investors. It's important to note is that there's a lot of great work being done in this community from local VCs like Connexus, PE groups like Westcap and PIC, angel groups like Broad Street Bulls, but it's not enough. We need the group with Startup TNT is really showing what it means to do that, to rally behind those companies. And I encourage anybody, if you have the means, come talk to me. We can talk more about how to get more involved with Startup TNT. And I'm just so happy tonight to announce another winner of our TNT Capital Fund. But of course, we've got to do one more thank you of all our friends, don't we?
That's right. We could not be here tonight without the benefit of all these partners involved in the summit that we're running here.
Yeah, I also want to take a moment to thank our TNT operations team. Jonah, who's in operations behind the scene. He had another person who recently left the company. So he was all by himself for the first time ever on this summit, and he did an incredible job. I don't know if he's listening in at home, but he's up in
Thanks
Edmonton.
very much, Jonah.
Big shout out to Jonah. Round of applause for him. Right. Also, Mandy, who saw all the awesome marketing on our LinkedIn page, our Twitter, Instagram. Mandy Armstrong down in Windsor, Ontario, staying up really late tonight to keep pushing it out, make sure people showed up for tonight's event. Give it up for Mandy so much. Also, big shout out to Saskatoon AV, who did an amazing job, was here since before lunch, setting things up, getting the stage ready. We also have Victoria, our local event planner. Thank you so much to everybody for making this happen. And of course, can't forget our venue, innovations, and all the people who participated in our innovation showcase. Thank you so much to our Pacicotan, Indigenous entrepreneurs. TourPath was here. Supercut sent up a special unit just for tonight. Luxonic and Omnee Rapid Prototyping jumped in late. Thank you so much for participating and part of that. And thank you to Shyla, Cross, and the whole Blue Cross team for hosting us here in this space.
We also want to make sure we acknowledge all the investors that were involved one more time. They put in a lot of work over the last 6 weeks.
So much work, like hundreds of hours of due diligence.
It was intense.
So many messages on Slack, so many emails, so many meetings scheduled. I mean, multiple investors are like, man, I'm going through so many meetings, I can't do my day job. I'm just focused here on the TNT. They're just so amped and excited to invest in all these amazing local companies. And we want to just let's give a round of applause. These people putting their money where their mouth is, right? Supporting this community. And of course, we got to thank these last final 5, don't we?
That's right. And this is why we're all here tonight. It's down to these 5 final companies that put on an awesome show. Again, one more time, it's not easy to be up on stage, to talk about your dream, your idea, something that you basically nurtured from the beginning, and to expose that to the criticism and critiques of others. It's a hard job to do. So one more time, give it up for the founders.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And then, of course, as I mentioned, after parties coming up next. Donate to that tab if you want to keep us going all night long. And I think that's it. I think we can. I think we're. Whew, yeah. This is a tough moment, right? Because I have to say, all 5 of these companies, right? We mentioned this is a continued theme throughout the night. Have pushed so hard. Right, have been through ups and downs. I've been in some of the downs with some of these moments. I remember with one of these companies that came right when they were doing one of the pivots. They came over to me before they told anybody else. They told me, right, and I chatted with them, and they're making those decisions and getting things done. Right, they're riding that roller coaster of entrepreneurship, and it's not easy for us to then make a decision and say you're better than you, because that's not really what we're saying, right? In fact, we're going to be able to announce tonight 4 deals, right? And I also want to make a point though, is the 5th one we are working on getting a deal together and this we haven't had this in the very first TNT summit because of the caliber of this cohort. I truly believe all 5 of these companies deserve a deal, and we are going to work hard to make all 5 companies get a deal. But we can announce 4 deals tonight, right? Very exciting, totaling over $300,000 of investment already. And that's just from the Saskatchewan investors here tonight, right? We haven't even started on the Alberta ones or the Manitoba ones. We're going to get more money flowing into this province. We're already over 300,000.
That's right. We're going to be talking to investors from Alberta and Manitoba, exposing them to these companies so that we can bring in money from outside the province.
Absolutely. All right. Wow. And just I guess one last thing before I announce who our winner is. Right, they exemplify that grit and the grind. They've ridden that roller coaster up and down, and I am just so impressed by their continued perseverance. And without further ado, let's announce our winner of Summit 7 of the SK Stream, David Johnston, Omnee.
Omnee.
Come on up stage, Dave. For those that don't know, we hosted a summit with Valhalla about 2 years ago, and Dave tied for first and lost on the tiebreaker. And Dave also came through again in the fall of 21 because he's a sucker for punishment, and he lost, and he didn't make it, and he didn't get the win that time either. And so we came in here one more time, and I'm so proud to see him here on the stage as our winner tonight of Summit 7. Got anything to say?
Thank you, and I hope it wasn't a sympathy investment for my awkward silences throughout my pitch. But I also want to thank my team. These are two of our amazing software people, brilliant people. It's certainly not me. It's not the Dave show. Omnee is so much more than me, and we're thankful. And I guess Jesse sort of said it, but I was like, if I win, I definitely want to mention the fact that this is my third time. And I guess if nothing else, that's a lesson of keep going. Each time I learned something and I tried to make a little bit better next time and, get a little more traction. And I think that's a lesson for all of us founders in the room is you never know. You never know when that time is going to be that you'll be able to break through. So super excited and thank you so much.
Congratulations, Dave. And don't go anywhere, right? We got to bring everybody up on stage. You're going to get to pop that. Get that ready. We're going to pop it with everybody. Who else is joining us here on stage?
Well, we're going to have everybody else on stage too.
Right. So we've got 4 other companies. I can announce tonight we are definitively doing deals in BetterCart, Runnr, and SolusGuard for a total over $300,000. Come on stage, Melanie, Cerise, and Lewis. Right, and Fred, I don't know where you are right now. I can't see. There you are, Fred. We are working towards a deal. We just aren't there yet. We have to talk to the Alberta investors. But if you would like to come up on stage and celebrate the fact that tonight is all about perseverance, and you have certainly persevered. This is your third time coming through as well, and you have got further every time. That's a win in my books. Come on stage, Fred. You're a winner. Right. Anybody else want to say anything since we're up here?
Yeah.
Really appreciate the opportunity to be up here. It was a tough summit, and I'm honored to be up on stage with everyone here. So, and we're excited to have a deal come through. So,
Woo!
So I've been at this for a long time. When I first started, there was nothing. There was nothing out in the community. There was only a handful of us. I literally Googled how to start a tech company. There was no collabs. There was no cultivator. Unless you were an ag tech company, you were nothing. And so when I look around today and I see, this is absolutely incredible. Our community has come together in such it's ridiculous. People are taking money out of their own pockets, putting it into companies like ours, doing these incredible things. I am so proud of all of us, and it's a congratulations to everybody.
And sort of echoing exactly what Cerisa said and lovely Lewis, this is a phenomenal moment. It was exciting to get up on the stage tonight and to see how this night unfolded. And I'm so pleased to congratulate everybody up here. Woo! Teams are built and they're incredible people behind us up on the stage. And so this is where my heart always is in moments like this. Well, actually, this is my first moment like this, so let's just be clear. But no, awesome. Yeah, thank you. So many kicks at the can, as Jesse promptly said in a LinkedIn post. I was very pleased. But no, it's been amazing. And trusting and this community here is just phenomenal. And I've never been so overwhelmed by the incredible nature of giving, the generosity, and the support. And when you are having these due diligence meetings, there's also people actively trying to find you deals outside of those meetings, and that is just unheard of. And so Startup TNT all the way. Thanks.
One last.
Yeah, what an amazing community we have here. As a relative newcomer to Saskatchewan, you never think that we had such a vibrant tech community and people that are willing to help you get your dream started. People like Startup TNT and all the partners in this room make this type of stuff possible. And I'm just honored to be on stage with all of these companies that are far further down the field than we are. And it was just an honor to be able to present with every one of you.
All right, Dave, let's pop that champagne. Right, this is one of my favorite photo moments too, out of a lot of the other photos. And you've watched them pop the champagne a few times, Dave, and now you get to do it. Let's pop it. The honor is yours now. Woo! Time to celebrate, everybody. We're going to take a few photos. All the TNT investors, if you could come on stage for a moment so we can take some photos with you. We'll take some photos with our finalists here. Let's grab a few more drinks. We're going to do last call in, what time is it now? Like 5 minutes. So last call is basically happening right now. So last call for drinks from this location. We're heading over to Earl's for 9 o'clock. Let's have a good night. Play that music. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Thank you to Hassan Nakvi, who came up all the way from Regina to help me host tonight. I got to give a big shout to him. He's been an awesome partner on this summit. Thank you so much for everything. Get on stage, get on stage. Celebrate. Oh, I want some of that.